Hi, and welcome to a quick snippet of Democracy Theater. Long time no see. Um, the reason for this little video is because I have a question. Can anybody tell me where we're going with the political discourse and the way that we interact with each other online? Um, I mean, one of the reasons that it's been hard to create content for this democracy theater channel is because the theater has become so obvious that nobody needs me to point it out for them. I mean, if you're still on Team Red or Team Blue, I'm sorry, I can't help you anymore. So my question is to the people who remain on their team, Team Trump, Team Hillary, Team whatever, what is your end goal? Like, the way that we talk to each other online, the way that we demean each other's opinions, and again, this is really just over economic philosophy, right? On how things are distributed. Foreign policy, meaning how we're sending our sons and daughters to a foreign land to kill people that would never come and hurt me or you personally, to benefit people that just doesn't care about us at all, right? So the theater is so apparent, and still it seems like most of us want to participate, and the rhetoric is escalating to such a point that I just don't know where we're going with this. I mean, the natural conclusion or the natural escalation is that we're going to start killing each other. But for what? Are we really going to start hurting in mass fellow Americans? Because we can't fucking get along, because we can't compromise, because we can't figure out that we all live here, and because we continue to be manipulated by people that do not have our best interest at heart? I don't know. I would just like to know. I mean, I remember when I got involved in politics, we would, I mean, in private, in when we had our meetings and when we were strategizing, of course we were making fun and pumping up and our members and so forth. But I mean, it wasn't that our opponent was inherently evil or wanted to do inherently evil things to me or to the country. It was just that they had a different vision. A vision that at the time I didn't happen to agree with. So I went out in on the field of ideas, and I presented my idea, and then I argued my point, and then we had some fucking elections, and after the elections we got back to work. Everybody is retreating into their bubbles. Nobody is listening to each other anymore. And I bet you 90% of you cannot make the guy or the girl or the person that you're arguing with, you can't make their argument as good as they can or better. And most of the time you're just waiting for their lips to stop flapping so that you can just say whatever the fuck it is that you want to say. How are we going to survive as a nation and as humans? I mean, we're literally letting 10 men or 20 or whatever bring us to the precipice of annihilation over what? Really? There is something that's worth destroying the planet for human beings politically? You really think so? Short of enslavement? Short of democracy? I mean, I don't know. But I really wish that we could return to a time, or not a time, but we could return to a way where we have conversations, and when we remember that that's another human being over there that has another life experience that comes to the table, hopefully with a coherent vision and some ideas based on some facts and some science. But we cannot continue to play the game of the so-called elite and argue with each other over the color on the wall and the fucking shape of the curtains. That cannot be what we continue to do with each other. We don't have that kind of time anymore. You can call it global warming, you can call it whatever you want, but there is a dramatic change in the atmosphere, and it will have an impact, and we need to figure out how to deal with that. We have 4 madmen that were 5 or 6 that we've given the keys to weapons that can destroy all of us, running around playing a fucking game that benefits none. Well, certainly not the vast majority. And we continue to play their game by yelling at each other over things that we should not be arguing over anymore. I've said it before, I've said it again, we've let ourselves be divided down into the smallest possible victim group, and now we're just all screaming at each other, nobody zooming out, nobody looking for compromise. Everything has to be my way or nothing is going to happen at all, and it simply cannot continue. I'm sorry, I'm not looking for Armageddon. I'd like the planet the way it is. I would like my children and hopefully grandchildren and great-grandchildren and so forth and so on have an opportunity of life. And a family. And be able to read books and create art and hopefully not ever have to fucking have a job, because thank God we figured out a way to use automation to benefit all humankind and the planet. But we're never going to fucking get there if we're going to continue to argue over stupid shit and start calling and continue to call each other names and continue to escalate. Unless you are going to tell me that what you in the end want is to kill your political opponent or vanquish them off to somewhere. Where? I don't know, but this shit has really got to stop. So yes, I'm going to continue to now hopefully produce more content for this channel. And I want to talk to people that want to figure out a way that we can stop participating in the game of division and figuring out a way how we can come together and actually work to better the world so that we all now can have a better life and create a better future for the ones that come after us. We cannot possibly have become so selfish that we think that it's okay for us to destroy this planet. I certainly hope not.